Come along with Hazel and I as we embark, see what I did there, on a fitness journey. We're going to discuss recipes and getting healthy. So come help hold me accountable. So I started my fitness journey about a week ago, and by fitness journey I mean I just started getting into a consistent routine, mainly just walking. As each week goes by, I'll add more to my regimen, such as strength training. It's been about a week. It might have been a week and a few days, or closer to 2 weeks. I'm not really sure because I didn't track the exact date I started my health journey. I just know that I was inspired one day to just get up and get going. But more importantly, I'm looking for how am I feeling? And I can tell you that after a week of consistent walking, about 45 minutes a day, I feel better. My plantar fasciitis in my right foot seems to be subsiding. It was pretty excruciating in the beginning, and I'm torn because on the one hand, I don't want to put all that unnecessary weight on my foot by walking. At the same time, I'm like, okay, so how am I going to get in shape if I just wait for that pain to go away? It's not going to go away until I start getting in shape and working it out more. So, but that is starting to go away. I find that also wearing shoe inserts to support my arches has helped. I got some special orthopedic shoes so my feet aren't just flat all day. And hoping over time, after I lose some weight, maybe my arches will go back to not hurting so much. And then also I had a pain in my left knee that is getting a lot better. I used to have to take ibuprofen, put ice packs, and rotate between heat and ice, and I've got those copper band knee pads that I wear sometimes, but I find that my knee pain is subsiding. I find that I have more energy. My joints feel better. I still take glucosamine, but I'm not needing to take the medication for when I hurt. I'm also not needing to use ice packs or heating pads as often. I'm sleeping a whole lot better too. I find that in addition to sleeping better, I've got more energy during the day, and I'm losing my cravings for junk food. So that's been very helpful, and it's been nice having that extra energy, not only to get out and walk and work out, but just doing things around the house instead of just sitting there watching TV, being on my phone and all that. I'm up, cleaning, decluttering, organizing. So if that's what I can accomplish in just 1 week of consistent working out, I'm excited to see what I can do in a few weeks, in a month, and a couple of months. I don't know what it is, if it's just in my area, maybe it's my imagination, but it just seems like the people that are out walking in the morning are, more in line with myself. I mean, they're like my age or older. I find that it's like going back in time, and you're crossing paths with people who actually want to stop and chit chat and talk to you, and our dogs check each other out, and it's just a good time. Like, I think on just about every walk I've been on this past week, I've actually met people, nice people. Usually if I try walking in the middle of the day, it's a lot of younger folks. They're in a zone, and that's okay. They're not interested in chit-chatting. They're just eyes straight forward. They've got their earbuds in. They're in a zone, and there's just no real interaction. Sometimes I say hi, and they don't even respond. Maybe they don't hear me because of the earbuds. I just find that the people in the morning are nicer. I met a group of about 7 ladies that were out walking. I saw them, and we said hi, and I said, "Oh my goodness, are you like some kind of walking group or something?" And they said, "Well, yeah, it's kind of an informal one, but it started out, I guess a couple of ladies were walking, and then another woman saw them and asked if she could join, and before you knew it, they had a group of 7. So, we agreed that we would try to meet up one day, because that's something that I find to be helpful. If you've got a workout buddy or something that you can hold each other accountable and kind of be each other's life coach. And if you don't know a lot of people in your area, get on nextdoor.com. You can meet neighbors just like that. If it would help you, if you're maybe wanting to get out but you want a workout buddy or something, I bet you can find one in your area pretty quickly. As far as cardio, I'm going to stick with power walking, Riding my bike, if I can get out later in the evening or real early in the morning, I will continue to swim. I've been doing a lot of cardio through swimming, and then I've got those weights. They're basically just foam, but they're water weights. So it works against the resistance of the water. I've been doing some low impact strength training. I've been trying to stretch more. I will probably, on days that are just too hot to get out, I'm gonna try to start using my indoor workout equipment that I got during 2020 when we couldn't leave our homes for very long. Instead of walking for 45 minutes once a day in the morning, I'm going to start walking twice a day. I'm going to try to do a morning and then try to do an evening walk after my last meal and before bed. I'm not going to put a huge emphasis on food. I just don't want to do something that becomes a burden. I'm just going to make healthier choices, but I'm going to eat when I feel like it, whether it be smaller meals or if I want a bigger meal and then fewer snacks. I'm just not going to put a lot of focus on that. I'm not a doctor, not a dietitian, not trying to give anybody else advice. I'm just talking to you about my journey. I will do weigh-ins just so I can put it out there and hold myself accountable. But again, I'm going to pay attention to losing some water weight, losing some inches. That's where my focus is going to be, but more importantly, how I feel. And I forgot to mention that Hazel goes with me on all my walks. And what I do is I push her in my stroller, which I'm sure y'all have seen in some of my videos. And she used to just be terrified of getting out and walking with me. She'd want to stay in the stroller, or if I tried to set her down next to me to walk with me, she would try to dart back to the house from the direction that we came. But now she's actually getting into walking, and whenever I try to put her in the stroller to give her a break so she just doesn't overheat, she wants to get back down and walk. So she's been getting to where she's building up some steam. I'm seeing it in her, I'm seeing it in myself. Like I said, I'm not going to put a huge focus on pounds or weight, but I will say that I would like to lose at least 50 pounds, if I'm being honest. If you think of it like this, if you go to the grocery store and you pick up one of those 10-pound bag of potatoes, so to be 50 pounds overweight, try picking up 5 of those 10-pound bags of potatoes. And you'll just kind of get a visual for, yeah, it's more spread out over our body, but when you think about carrying that much extra weight, it really puts it into perspective. One of the things I look forward to about walking more than I do actually getting in shape is I look at it as my walk with God, both literally and spiritually. I use that time to pray. I don't wear my earbuds. I don't listen to music when I walk. I'm just staying in constant prayer. And I believe that that's what's given me the motivation and the stamina to just keep going, because I want to be the best version of myself, to be a humble servant to God. I find that when I stay in prayer, I grow closer to God and I'm able to hear His voice, because God will always talk to you softly, whereas the enemy is always shouting in your ear. And I just want to make sure I tune out the enemy and listen for God's guidance on how He wants me to serve Him in this life. If we are children of God, if we have submitted to Him and turned our life over to Him, and His Holy Spirit dwells within us, then I believe that it's important that we take care of the house that dwells the Holy Spirit. So I do believe there's a lot of truth to taking into account how we treat our bodies and what we put in our bodies is, the food that we eat. I believe that, if we're feeling groggy and we have brain fog and everything because we're not eating the right way or taking good care of ourselves, then I do believe that interferes with our connection between ourselves and God. So that's just something to consider if you're looking to grow closer to God and to work out and be on a spiritual as well as a physical journey with Him. Then I suggest that you also do some praying when you're out walking. It makes you feel better. It's a great start to a day. It's a great end to a day. I want to always start my day talking to Him first, and I always want to talk to Him right before I close my eyes. So one of the things that is very, very important to a wellness journey or to getting fit is to walk. Well, summers in Texas, it's not very pleasant to walk outside. So I try to make it a point to get up every morning pretty early. It's hard to go on the green belt because there's so many little water puddles and all the mosquitoes gather. When I'm on the creek, the grass is so tall, then you got to be concerned with ticks. I swear it looks like I've got chicken pox or the shingles. I'm breaking out here and on my arm because I don't always remember to put bug repellent on. The catch-22 for me or anybody that's struggling with weight is, I can't really run because I have knee issues. I've got issues with my feet, plantar fasciitis, but that's a result of probably carrying too much weight. So how do you find that balance? You need to do the cardio, but it's kind of like that story of the tortoise and the hare. I could probably lose weight faster if I get out and try to run, but I will also do more damage to my knee and my feet. So I'm just having to do it slowly, get out every morning and walk before it gets too hot. I try to do it first thing in the morning when I wake up because otherwise I'll put it off. Like if I wait an hour and have some coffee and I'll be like, it's too hot, I don't feel like walking now, maybe later, and then later never comes. So I thought I would attempt to go work out and do some cardio on the outdoor equipment, but Hazel wasn't having it on this day. She wanted to be in my lap the whole time. I think next time I come out here, I'm going to have to come without her. I didn't get much accomplished on this particular day. So I was in the mood for yogurt, but didn't really have any yogurt in the refrigerator. And then I remembered we had made some freeze-dried strawberry yogurt with some raspberries and granola in it. So I just went ahead and added some cold water to this and let it rehydrate. And then I threw some coconut flakes and some granola and some pecans and freeze-dried strawberries on it and made myself a little parfait. It was delicious. I was craving one of those egg in a holes, so I just put a hole in the center of a piece of bread and kind of toasted it on both sides. And the reason that yolk looks really runny is it was a farm fresh egg. They're way different than what you get at the store, but it was delicious. I just added some seasoning and it tasted so good. I also had some avocado that I sliced up and put it on the side. I added a little Julio seasoning, and it was really one of my favorite breakfasts of all times. Just served it with a side of orange juice. Today I thought I'd do a little charcuterie type board. I had these different snacks that I really loved from Costco. Some of them were some dried crunchy edamame that was sriracha flavored, and these Bavarian beef sticks are so good. And then I got these honey roasted almonds from the Asian market, and then these two were from Costco, these sweet potatoes. I love these so much. This is literally one of my favorite snacks. Another one of my favorite snacks is apples and peanut butter. This is such a good combination. Grapefruit was one of those fruits that I was not a big fan of, but I knew it was healthy for me. It was complicated to peel, but I just finally taught myself to like it. Corey is so good to me. He makes me a salad every day for lunch when he makes his salad to take to work with him, and it's such a great reminder for me to eat my vegetables, which I don't get enough of. Today I'm going to be making overnight oats. I'm not going to actually eat them today. I'm going to prep them. It only requires just a few ingredients you probably have laying around your kitchen, and you can get extremely creative with this. So I'm only going to make one serving. But again, this is something that you can make for a week. I think they last in the fridge for about 4 or 5 days. But let me show you the basic steps, and then you can add your other ingredients to make it any creation that you want. So as far as the basic ingredients for every overnight oats that you make, they consist of about a tablespoon of chia seeds, about 1/4 a cup of the plain Greek yogurt, about 1/2 a cup of oatmeal, 1/2 a cup of milk, and tablespoon of honey just to give it a little extra sweetness. Now, depending on what you put to make your creation, like today I'm doing a peanut butter and jelly version, so it's probably going to have enough sweetness, but I'm just going to go ahead and just follow the recipe and stick with a tablespoon of honey. And you can always alter this as you go and see what you like and don't like. Maybe you like it a little thicker, maybe you like it a little runnier, and that's okay too. So for my version of the overnight oats, like I said, I'm going to do peanut butter and jelly. So I am going to use this peanut butter and maybe a little bit of powdered peanut butter. I haven't decided. And then I've got this strawberry guava jelly that I've got at the farmer's market that I need to use up. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple of raspberries in there as well, just to kind of give it a couple different flavor profiles. And so let's get this thing started. Half a cup of rolled oats and about a tablespoon of chia seeds. I forgot to mention the chia seeds are not actually required for overnight oats, but they do just add a boost of nutrition. When I got out my chia seeds, I also found this bee pollen, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a couple of sprinkles of this in there. I will also, like I said, be using honey. You can use honey or maple syrup, it doesn't really matter, but I just love peanut butter and honey together. So for the Greek yogurt, about 1/4 of a cup. As far as the milk, I want to go ahead and point this out to those who are a little bit paranoid or skeptical about expiration dates. See how this says September 1st of 2022? I have a bunch of these cartons in my pantry. I get them out when I need it and don't have milk in the fridge. I did open this carton within the last few days, so ignore the expiration date. This is still good. Now, sometimes, don't gross out, but sometimes there'll be some lumps in the milk, but it tastes totally fine. I know that sounds weird. I mainly use this for baking, but I have drank it before, and it's just, you know how sometimes the texture changes? So, a 1/2 cup. This is where you'll add your sweetener. I'm going to do honey. I just happen to like it a little bit more than maple syrup, but use whichever you like. I eyeballed it and did about a tablespoon. So that does it for the base ingredients, and now I'm going to go ahead and make it a peanut butter and jelly theme. Just because I need to use some of this peanut butter powder, I can use just peanut butter or just the powder, but I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Next, I'll just put in about a tablespoon of regular peanut butter. I've got this guava strawberry jelly from the farmer's market. And give this a good mix. So many different variations of this. In fact, I've got some bananas I need to use, but I think I'll just make this later on in the week and do like a banana nut bread. I'll do some walnuts and some banana, some honey, maybe add some cinnamon. I don't think you have to do this overnight. I think it only needs really a few hours in the fridge to thicken up. You can also heat it or you can eat it cold. It took me a minute to get used to eating cold overnight oats, but it is good. It's refreshing during the summer. So I only just put a handful of raspberries in there. I didn't want to make it where it was going to be too much food for me to eat. When the overnight oats were ready, I just checked the consistency, added a little bit of granola and then some milk to thin it out, and I ate it just as it was. Hey, bunny. Waking up each morning to go for a walk gets easier and easier. I'm waking up less sore, more energy, more rested, and yeah, I'm less winded before when I'm trying to walk and talk. I feel like I'm able to walk a little faster, like I'm power walking. I also feel less sore. My plantar fasciitis still there. I feel a little bit of burn in my foot, but not near as bad as when I first started. So we're making progress. Even Hazel's walking with more energy, right, Hazy? Come on, baby. I like to weigh myself first thing in the morning because that is, in my opinion, when we have the most accurate weight. It fluctuates throughout the day, and if you carry water weight, I don't know if that's something that just pertains a lot to women going through menopause like myself. But I remember that that was my closet light that just went off. A doctor wrote me a prescription for a diuretic that was in combination with a blood pressure medicine because I guess all the water weight was putting pressure on my heart and causing me to have high blood pressure. I took it for about a week and lost like 10 pounds. And so that was kind of just an eye-opener of how much water weight we carry. But I ended up going off of that because it was also dropping my heart rate, and my hands, my feet were getting really cold, and I'm just like, I need to be done with medication. For me personally, I know that's not for everybody, but to me, it's always like whatever medicine I get on to help this problem has a side effect that causes this problem that needs another medication. So I'm just kind of trying to be done with that, stick with vitamins. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell anybody to get off their medicine, and I'm not going to put a huge emphasis on what the scale says. Like I said before, I'm more interested in how I'm feeling. Is the pain in my knee and my foot going away? Am I getting more energy? Am I feeling better, sleeping better, in a better mood? All those things. Are my clothes going to start fitting better? Those are the things I'm going to put more of my focus on than what the scale says. You can get on the scale 3 times a day and it's going to fluctuate depending on what you eat, if you drink a lot of water, have you gone to the bathroom recently, all those things. And then if you're premenopausal and you still get a menstrual cycle, you get bloated certain times of the month. So I'm just not going to put a lot of concern in what the scale says. 193.2. Another thing to keep in consideration when it comes to losing weight is remember how long it took you to put the weight on. So if it was a gradual process over, let's say, 3 years, try to be realistic when it comes to losing weight. It might take that same amount of time. In the beginning, if you go from not working out to all of a sudden working out, yeah, you might lose a lot of water weight or something, but then you'll get to where it becomes slower and slower to come off. So that's where I am, about a week on this journey, and I will just update you next week on my progress. Y'all take care. Have a great week.